jump camera based on who's talking, so I'll try to minimize that as much as possible. So here we are with the third episode of the Brick Wall podcast. We have Tom DeBlass, myself, Todd Shaffer. We also have special guest Luke Moeller from North Carolina.
Special guest, he says.
And by special, I meant special.
Yeah.
Nice, thank you. Appreciate the warm welcome.
No, it's a pleasure to have you. You're so special.
So here we are.
Listen, this is probably going to get the most views ever because Luke is on.
True statement. That is very true.
So, go ahead, Todd. I'm sorry.
No, I was just going to say we just got back from your Costa Rican camp, so I thought maybe we'd start with some of your reflections on that. Maybe we could share some stories we each experienced.
Yeah, for me, it was pretty amazing because, well, first of all, it's tiring getting there. You know what I mean? It's like the travel is really, it's not easy because, you know, we had to take off from JFK, which is like an hour and 45 minutes from our house, or an hour and 30 minutes from our house. We had Scott Trout driving, which is like, just tack on another hour. The best driver in New Jersey, Scott Trout. And then by the time we get to Liberia, it's like an hour and a half. You know how it is. You guys went through it. It's hot as hell, right? I didn't think it was going to be that hot. And then, you know, I think the camp was amazing, but exceptionally hot, I felt. Which I'm not complaining about. It's no problem to me. But I was hurt. Like, literally, I was sweating profusely, like, within the first technique I taught. So,
I legitimately on day one.
What's that?
I legitimately almost died on the first day.
Yeah, you never say no to training. I told you to train with Gonzalez. You were like, no. I was like,
I feel my organs were shutting down. I've never felt that way in my life. I showed up. I was dehydrated already. Just getting warmed up. I was just drenched, and I trained for a while, and then all of a sudden, I walked off the mats, and my head started just beating. And I started getting tunnel vision, and I'm like, "This is a little weird. I've never had this happen before." And yeah, I'm pretty sure my organs started shutting down in Costa Rica.
Did any of you guys actually check the temperature? What was the temperature while we were there? I never looked.
I mean, with the heat index, it had to be 100, man. I mean, it was bad. It got so hot some days where you touched the mat, and the mat was like burning. You know what I mean? Like, I literally think that's why mat burn was so easy to get there, because it was so hot to where, like, if you scraped it, it kind of just like melted away your skin a little bit, you know? I mean, I'm making it sound much like it was incredible being there. Like, I'm making it sound like a horrible experience. It really was. It was incredible to train with so many Costa Ricans and so many new people that I'd never had the chance to train with if it wasn't for that camp. And listen, it's going to be hot. We're training in Costa Rica, outside, on the mats, on the beach, like right next to the beach. Of course it's going to be hot. But I would definitely, I would do it again 1,000 times. You know, it was worth it. I just wouldn't train as much as I trained. That's all.
Yeah, the first day was the day you trained, about 90 minutes with the black belt from San Jose?
Yeah.
I think I counted they had to mop the mat at least 3 times while you were training with them, like around you, between your legs and such.
Yeah, it got so hard to do anything, like pass the guard, or to literally do anything. Like, the moment you would stand up, like, Luke already quit by that time. He had dehydration. But by the time he would stand up...
Get out of here.
But if you...
No way. This was day 2. This was day 2, by the way.
What?
You trained with him on day 2, I believe.
Oh, I thought it was the first day.
It was the first day.
I was probably so dehydrated. I'm thinking.
Who did I train with the second day?
You trained with the guy with the dreadlocks and like the colored spats. I remember you trained a bunch of matches that day.
What about the third day?
Random people.
Yeah. See, so the first day, since I clearly have a better memory, first day, remember, it was the day you trained with Gonzalez, and he thought he was gonna heel hook you, and he was sorely mistaken.
he's right. Luke is right.
Yeah. And then day 2, you train with the black belt from San Jose.
Yeah.
So,
And
so we've just
I'm pretty
trolled
sure.
you and got rid of your dehydration story. That's all. That's all bogus because now you have this perfect memory.
Yeah.
What can I do? But on day 2, I'm pretty sure all that sweat was mostly mine. I'm just very sweaty when I train. I can't help it. Like I think Tom was perfectly fine. He trained hard, but he doesn't sweat as much as me. I was just sweating gallons.
Bro, I was sweating. I was hurting because I remember the third day, I just like walked into the ocean as soon as I was done, and I didn't realize that it said no swimming because of the crocodiles, and I was just like rolling around in the murky water, and it was extra murky. I was like, why the fuck is it so murky? This is weird shit. I was thinking, and then I like look up, and it's like a sign is like blinking, like don't swim because of crocodiles, and I wouldn't have had it. Not that I would ever have a chance against a crocodile, but I was so tired, man. I just would have I would have just got devoured.
We would have carried on without you.
Oh
Wow.
yeah, I'm not. Oh yeah,
Wow.
they probably would have loved the camp with you two. Would have been great. Todd,
Let's break
I'm
for
not,
lunch. Time to break for lunch.
man, I couldn't even eat when I was there. I was so tired. I didn't even have an appetite. It was crazy. I'm definitely gonna change that. Like I'm not gonna train as hard next time, but it was great, man. What was your favorite part about it?
Luke, you want to go first?
Yeah, sure. Man, so it's so good to be able to train with my teammates and get tough training in, and also meet with new people. People I've never trained with and people from different schools. It's always usually when you train for people with other schools, it's in a competition, and everybody's trying to snap your arm or choke you out. Everybody was good. I felt like there was a wide range of white belt to black belt, but a lot of good training and just obviously learning from you, getting a chance to train and you drill techniques. Yeah, I was actually amazed at how much you're able to show in such a short amount of time. Because I mean, we packed a lot in there, and I know I mean I've trained under you for a long time now, but I still felt as though I learned so much. So it was really really good.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is like my fourth or fifth time this year going to one of your seminars, and I think it was really cool to see. These folks are so isolated. We take it for granted. There's so much jujitsu everywhere, even in my area, which is not very densely populated. We have a lot of jujitsu, and it was just cool. It's always cool to see folks like really hungry to meet you, to get pictures with you, to get to train with you, and you're always so gracious to stomp them for a good 5 minutes each, and send them on their way. With their lives changed. So it's always cool to watch that. And I picked up a lot of details, some stuff you had shown. I'd seen at a couple other seminars, but there were a couple brand new things that I really really liked. I'm not going to talk about them because I want to use them at the school.
Yeah. I always get, it's like I go off people's energy, and I felt that their energy was like very, very eager. Like I felt like they wanted to learn, they wanted to train. And even when training with them, man, like they were tough as hell. Like they had not only like were they like gritty and tough, like and have like a ton of heart, but they were technical. They were really, really good. I was super impressed with them, and I probably didn't expect them to be as good as they were, to be quite honest. And I was super happy with the training and the level of jiu-jitsu that they had there. So it was good. Just a few minor tweaks that I would do next time, But otherwise, I think it went like I don't think it could have gone better than it went when we were there. It was pretty awesome. I don't know where exactly we'd want the next one to be in Costa Rica. Like there's a bunch of different places. I liked it here because we had so many different options after the training. We weren't just stuck with one another. People were able to do whatever they wanted to do and break off and do their own thing. And although it caused some minor issues between our group when dinner time everybody ran from Scott Trout. Other than that, it was it was pretty smooth. I'd have to say, people do what they want to do. I don't know if I want to be stuck in a place where I have to look at your fucking faces the whole entire time. That might get a little tiresome.
Yeah, it was cool. People could break off into their own groups, or just go solo. Do everything was within walking distance, pretty much, and tons of great restaurants. It was really really cool.
Yeah, for sure. Why don't
Yeah, it
we?
was here too. When we were training, and Alejandro, he came to lunch with us after training, and he was like, "Man, I'm so happy to be here." He lives in that town, and he got a chance to train and come to the seminar, and he was just like, "I didn't realize I had so many gaps in my training and in my skills until I took the seminar, and now that it's over, he's like, my whole eyes have been opened. I've learned so much in such a short amount of time." So that was good to see. You know what I mean? These guys, they come, and everybody's trying to get their jiu-jitsu perfect, and he felt as though he was able to fill a lot of gaps. So that was good to see. He's a good dude too.
Yeah, like that one email I got from the guy was incredible. I'm not even going to get into it because I don't want people to know who he was, but it was just a really incredible email I got from one of the guys there. Just like super thankful. It was much different, I'd say, than what we're used to in the United States. I'd 100% say much different. So it was pretty cool. If you guys don't mind, I think we should move on to the next subject, and I think a good subject to talk about is Mr. Gordon Ryan. What do you guys think?
What do we think of Gordon? What do I think of Gordon Ryan? Having not met him, only knowing him from a couple other media sources.
Oh no, you dumb truck! What do you think about that being the next topic? Todd is like this dumbest smart guy I've ever met in my life.
Yeah, let's do it. I like that topic.
He's like, well, as a person, what I think of him is no, but you get a chance to talk to Gordon every day because you're in our WhatsApp group along with Luke, and it's funny because people think he's cocky, but people really don't know how cocky he is. It's not a show.
I've never seen anything like it in my life.
It's not a show at all. He refers to himself as King Ryan. And I got to tell you, Gordon's cockiness doesn't bother me, and I'll tell you exactly why. And I talked to him about this privately the other day. I think what makes cockiness annoying to me is if the person, they were cocky and they didn't work hard, or they didn't give, they weren't giving, they weren't willing to like train with everyone. They kind of secluded themselves because they thought they were too good, and that's so far from who Gordon is. You know what I mean? Like I'm competing against Joe Bays next month, and Gordon's competing in EBI, and he has his camp set up in New York City, and like he's still driving, like he's training in the city during the day, and then he's driving to me at night to get training with me because Joe Bays is a leg lock guy. So to me, that's not the epitome of cocky. Like he's a confident jerk off kid, 100%. But I think that's what makes Gordon so. Like I think that's what's making him successful, his self-belief, and I would not want to take that away from him.
I think the word cocky, to me, if I say Luke is cocky, to me that means he is portraying himself as something that is deficient and trying to kind of talk his way into this world. Gordon's the first person personally that I've interacted with where I feel like he's got everything. He works harder than anybody else, and the word cocky doesn't fit him anymore, if that makes sense, in my opinion.
Yeah, I agree. It's like I talk a lot of shit, but I can back it up, right? So yeah, I mean, you could sit here and you could say, oh yeah, Gordon Ryan's cocky, but the guy trains all day. He gets up early. You know what I mean? He's texting at 5:30 in the morning, like, oh, I'm on my way to Henzo's, or I'm on my way to go train. He's a hard worker. You know what I mean? He's putting in his hours. So you could say, I mean, people could say, oh yeah, he's a cocky kid, and he's 21 years old. He's 21 years old, and he's outworking all of you. And not only is he outworking all of you, but he's I mean, man, he's winning competitions and he's tapping people that are amazing and world champions. And he's a, you know what? He can be a cocky prick, but guess what? He backs it up. So I mean, people can talk all they want and they can run their mouth, but at the end of the day, who's working harder, right? So
I think the thing is, I think it also plays into like what people expect a martial artist to be, right? So Gordon is not your typical martial artist. He breaks some of the martial code, but you know, looking back at some of these, not looking back, looking at some of these martial artists who live so much by the code, uh, do they have the same loyalty that Gordon has? Are they genuinely happy for their teammates and their training partners when they win? Like Gordon is genuinely happy for his. Do they genuinely want the success of the you know, not only their self but people around them? Like Gordon wants everyone to be successful. So, you know, a lot of these martial artists who are saying, you know, Gordon is living the wrong way or he's this, he's that. I mean, besides being confident and saying he'll beat anybody, I mean, he's a 20-year-old kid. He's having fun. And let me tell you something. I trust that 20-year-old kid more than I trust 99% of the people in this world. You know, I don't ever worry or think that I have to worry about Gordon and what his intentions are. You know what I mean? So it is what it is. And listen, is Gordon overboard sometimes? And does he have a false sense of reality in some cases? Yes, he does. 100%. He does. He really does. But you know what? Those are things that he's going to have to find out for himself. You know, and that's something that he'll have to, you know, he'll learn from eventually. Gordon will, in his career, he will suffer another defeat. It's just the way things go. And it's going to be, how does he come back from that? You know, whether the defeat is in a year, 2 years, 5 years, whether he starts fighting MMA and gets knocked out, whether it's 10, 15 years from now, it's always creeping up on you. You know, so these are things that he'll learn on his own, to where I think some people who have problems with him should probably worry about themselves.
So
that was so weird. Todd was daydreaming.
No. I'm trying to think of how to phrase a question. So you talk a lot about being sort of at your best right now. You feel like your training's the best. You feel, you know, in the best shape you've been in. Where do you see Gordon improving? Like where do you see him in 12, 13 years when he's your age?
That's a good question. Is Gordon hitting his physical peak at 20 years old? I don't think he's quite hit it yet, but I think, could he possibly hit it at 23, 24 compared to 34? Yeah, for sure. Is Gordon just going to keep improving physically from now until the time he's 34 years old? Could you imagine? I mean, he would be flying. He would be the first grappler that actually was able to fly. You know, like he would be a real life superhero. So it has to slow down eventually. When does it slow down is a question. Technically, people don't know how good he is technically. They really don't. They don't give him enough credit, man. Gordon really has perfect jiu-jitsu. And when he's really on, and he does not want people to pass, and he does not want to be scored on, he's really hard to score on. Now, his wrestling isn't world class, you know, but his jiu-jitsu in itself is so technical, and of course it'll just keep getting better. I mean, it has no choice but to keep getting better if you keep training. His physicality, I'm not sure. We'll see.
Where do you? I know Nicky's got his first super fight coming up. Where do you see Nicky when he's Gordon's age?
That's a good question. You know, like we don't really know. You know what I mean? Like Nicky is phenomenal. You know, I'm gonna be honest. His level of right now is nowhere. Like his technical level is nowhere near Gordon's technical level. But he's able to tap black belt adult male 100%. He's able to catch him in heel hooks. Nicky's very talented. He's very, very good. If he improves at any kind of pace, I mean, we'd be a fool to think that he wouldn't be better than Gordon. I mean, you see the guy now, He's already getting abs. He's developing physically. He was a fat little kid. He was a fat little shit like a year ago. Now the kid's got like a six-pack, you know? So it's like he's getting taller. So where's he going to be at 20? You got to assume he's going to be better than Gordon only because he has Gordon to train with every day. You know what I mean? So it's like it's going to be interesting to see. He's definitely coming into his own, though.
So
Bro, are you delayed or are you just stupid? Yeah, Luke.
Hey.
Luke,
Todd is from Oregon, okay?
bro.
They're a little slow in Oregon.
Bro, it's like a 30-second delay in between the time we're talking. Todd's like,
Yeah.
Todd,
Can you move along the conversation? You're supposed to be interviewing us, all right? And first of all, you're only interviewing Tom. So, and I'm like his sidekick, which is fine. I know my role. I know my role in this world. But I need you to move the interview along, okay?
not even an interview. It's supposed to be Todd's supposed to also be contributing.
I do contribute. I am contributing as we speak.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Ow.
Really seems so.
Well, the topic was Gordon Ryan, and I haven't met Gordon. I only know from the WhatsApp.
What's the most interesting thing you've encountered with Gordon in the WhatsApp group right now?
Gordon has a very interesting way to woo the ladies. I'll just say that.
Wow.
He's more honest than 99% of men in the world.
So what's Gordon's main pickup line? Do you know it or no?
It's probably something like, "Do you know who I am? I'm the Gordon Ryan." Something
Nope.
along this.
No. It's actually, do you like spaghetti?
Here it comes.
And then they say, yes. And then he goes, do you want to meet these balls? That's actually what Gordon says to every single female that he meets. And 99% of the time, I think it works.
Yeah, it seems
Yes.
like it works quite frequently.
But what is the level of
You
female
can get
that
away
he's
with
going
it.
at? Listen, what is the level of female? I don't want to get too deep. I don't want to get too involved. What is the level of female he's going after? Is he going after 10s? Or is he going after 4.10s? What is it?
Wow.
I don't know. I'm asking right now.
He's aiming for the top most of the time, I think.
Bro, maybe the top in fucking Iowa, wherever, or not Iowa, fucking Ohio, wherever you're living, that has one Buffalo Wild Wings in a radius of 50 miles.
Here's the thing. First of all, 2 5s is a 10. Let's just get that out of the way.
Yeah.
Second of all, Gordon has like an 8-pack. So he can have opening lines like, "Oh, do you like spaghetti?" Because he's got an 8-pack. He can say stuff like that. Men like me, I can't say stuff like that. That's not an opening line. For
Luke
men. You need to be
needs
a little
Shakespeare.
bit more clever.
Luke needs Shakespeare.
Bro, how great was it the one time the girl threatened his whole entire... She'll never see this. She threatened his life. She had her sister message him and threatened to break in and stab him, and then she was hanging out with him 2 days later.
Yeah, that was a good one because it showed us the criminal mind that is Gary Tonin as well, because he had some good advice for weaponry.
Oh, Gary. All right, next topic. Todd, what do you have for us, interviewer?
So, do we want to talk any more about relationships on the trip and drama? Or we that?
I mean, yeah, we could. You know, I mean, here's the thing. I think my students. I mean, it's actually behind the scene things that no one saw. But what happens is grown men are fucking babies. All right. I'm a hard type of dude. Like, I'm not soft. You know, I give advice and I'm compassionate, and and I try to help as many people as I can. But my inner squad, my inner circle, cannot be soft. It can't be, because that's not who I am. You know, so bringing people along to Costa Rica, I expect them to know my code. I expect them to know my rules, and that means don't bring me baby bullshit. You know. Furthermore, the irony of that, and the flip side, is to understand, if you're in my squad, to treat people with compassion if they're not, if you know they're soft. So if you know somebody's a little soft, treat them compassion more so than ever in that camp, because who's the one who would have to deal with drama? Me. It's like a dog taking a shit on the sidewalk. They don't have to clean it up. They can take their shit and walk on with their day. The owner is the one who has to clean it up. So a few times, like, things would happen. Like, again, like I said, I have my students, some of my main students, like, running away from another student before it was dinner. Baby shit that I don't even want to deal with, that just got brought back to me. So I have to be like, don't run away. Make sure you don't run away. It's just like such stupid shit. You'll be surprised. Some of the most successful people that you could ever, find in life, when you find out how soft some of them are when they start training jiu-jitsu. And that's the absolute truth, So I don't know. I don't know what you guys want to say about that, but
can I comment on it? Can I like express my
jump in, Luke. Jump in, Luke.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just want to make sure Papa Professor's okay with it. So
Yeah.
So here's the thing, man. We've spoken about that. To me, it's such bullshit, right? Man, we can't sweat on the mats together and train, and bleed and just put in all these hours and be teammates, and then have some like weird petty bullshit and like hurt each other's feelings. Especially, let's be honest, there's some people out there that they are a little soft, right? They're a little cushy. So for me, I feel as though it's bullshit to treat people that way, especially a teammate, someone that you're supposed to care about, right, and have their back always. So that really did bother me, which is weird.
What you're saying is you don't agree with the runners.
I don't agree with anyone, but I think I disagree more with the runners. Yeah, 100%. I also don't agree with being soft, but I also don't. You know what I mean? Like, but if I was in that individual's shoes, I'd be pissed off too. I'd be like, yo, what the fuck, right? We're teammates. We sweat on the mats. We bleed on the mats. We look out for each other's backs 100% all the time. And it just seems petty. It seems silly to me. I don't know. Maybe it's just because I'm a grown-ass man and I'm not. I don't know. It just seems silly to me. I would never. Me personally, listen, I would never do such a thing.
No matter who. I'm sorry. No matter who you are, if you get ready for dinner and you walk down, like if I was getting excited to go out for dinner with you guys, and then I'm like, hey, Luke, and you guys run down the street and leave me hanging, I'm going to be upset, you know?
Right.
So.
Yeah, 100%.
Oh, and if you guys, if anyone's upset that I'm talking about this, you could eat shit, all right? Because I had to deal with your baby bullshit in Costa Rica when you did whatever you had to do. So now, yeah, your spot's getting blown up. Who's the ones who did it? Let's call names: Carlos Solis, David Gonzalez, Corey Coots, Matt. I don't even know how to pronounce last name. Matt K. Who else is there? Who else did it?
Adam.
Adam the Ogre, fucking 480-pound Hughes. They ran on the ever so sensitive Scott Trout. They ran on it. They were the runners. So.
All right, we covered that. What's the next topic?
I don't know. You tell me. You're the fucking host.
We're all the hosts today.
Why don't we talk about real? I think our last. Oh, go ahead.
Go ahead, Luke.
Here's what's really funny, right? So, I don't know Todd that well, but like in every conversation I've ever had with him, we go out to dinner, we just like share a meal, we chat a little bit. This motherfucker's always interviewing me Always. He's always like asking questions that they don't flow with the conversation. I feel as though I'm being recorded. Like every time he's always asking interview questions. And then we all go out to dinner, and he did the same thing. And now here we are in a situation where there's an actual interview taking place, and he's the motherfucker, like sitting on the other side, like, huh? What? Huh?
Yeah, it's crazy, right? Oh,
It's weird. It's weird.
so he's a very gullible soul too. You know what it is? He's very he's not from Jersey. You know, he's you wouldn't think Ohio is that much of a different world, but it truly is. I guess you would call it like street smarts from like dummy to 10. Where would you put him?
Wow. Whew. I don't know. Somewhere like he's not. I don't think he's a dummy. I would say he's like, where's mental midget? Is that like a 4?
What about just like dumb? Not dummy, just dumb. So a few steps up. But he's a good soul.
Yeah, I think.
Bro, he's also old as hell. He's also 45 years old.
44.
Oh, sorry. And he looks young, so he's like so it's tricky. He looks young as shit, but he's actually old. Like Trout's 55. Like he's more in the Trout range.
Wow.
I don't know where to go with that. You hear me?
You know what I think would be good? I think if you got on a podcast with On It or got with some of those guys and got some Alpha Brain, and then we could see, okay, before and after Alpha Brain, you could be like their little show pony they run. Like, look at this guy, Alpha Brain, he's on point, Johnny on the spot.
I know where you could go with it. You could get a rope. You can tie it to a high post. No, I'm not. You know what? My luck, Todd is gonna fucking off himself, and then this quote will come out, and it'll be my fault.
Yeah, I'll make sure it comes out. So, Luke, talk about life in North Carolina. What made you abandon Tom DeBlass?
Wow. Whew. All right, so this is actually a sore subject. I think for myself and for Tom, I think in a lot of ways. I actually have trouble looking at him in the eye as we do this. So I moved for work. I work for a major retailer. I had a good opportunity in North Carolina. I decided to take it. But I just thought it was a good move for my family. I've only ever known really New Jersey, and I actually moved to South Jersey with the same company, and I had the honor of meeting Tom. But it was interesting. So going way back when I first took the job, I met one of Tom's students, Rob, who, rest in peace, was an awesome guy. I walked in one of his stores, and he was saying, man, he couldn't speak any higher of Tom and Ocean County Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. The guy, he just loved it so much. And the guy, so I'm talking with him, and he's an associate, and I'm a manager, and he's like, here's a business card for Tom. You need to go. And at the time, I think I was like 315 pounds. I was like just a complete mess. And
total slob.
Yeah. And so I have this business card, and I go to get my driver's license, and it was renewed like within the next week. I go and get my driver's license, and I have one driver's license next to the other one, and I'm like, fuck, man, I gotta change my life. I look bad. Like in
so you had a skinny driver's license and a heavy driver's license.
Yeah, it was very depressing. Like to put one by the other and just be like, man, like I need to change something. Something's got to change. So I go train at Ocean County Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. Absolutely changed my life. I'll never stop training Jiu-Jitsu 100%. Probably the biggest mistake I've made since I started Jiu-Jitsu is I took 6 months off when I moved. I wasn't able to train. I was still looking for schools. I wasn't training consistently. Probably the biggest mistake I've ever made in my life. So, so anyway, I trained under Tom until I got my purple belt, which is, man, I've accomplished a lot in my life. I'm not a slouch. I'm a pretty successful dude, but I'd say that's probably one of my highest accomplishments is, being Tom's purple belt. I'm very proud of that. So life in North Carolina, it's a little bit different. it's not the same, right? So I train at a good school. I feel 100%. I have good teammates now, but again, it's not OCBJJ. It's not training under Tom. It's not New Jersey. So things are a little bit different. I will absolutely say, and I'll stand by this, the South is a little slower. Sorry, people that live in the South. It's a little slower here. People are, they're very friendly, but yeah, it's not the same 100%. Any opportunity I have to train with Tom or anybody at OCBJJ, I jump at the opportunity.
It's awesome. I early on when I first connected with Tom, end of last year, I remember a lot of conversations. I'd be in these group things, and he was always talking about Luke. And I knew you weren't at the school, and I obviously didn't know who you were, but it was clear that there was something special going on. And obviously, having met you now and talked to you, and been in so many chats with you, it's clear on both sides. It's awesome to see. Like you're definitely one of the most loyal, positive speaking people about your experience with Tom. So I'm sure that job had to be really good to leave.
Yeah, and truth it is, I'm a huge Tom fan, and I'm not a Tom fan for the reasons that a lot of other people are Tom fans. I'm a huge Tom fan because he absolutely changed my life. He's a good dude. I feel as though he's truly a good guy. People put on a persona. There's always in the line of work I do, you find out very quickly that people have a lot of different faces, and I feel as though he's truly a good person, and he has a good face. And I'm glad that when I left, he stayed in contact, because I know a lot of people, in that business, people come and go, and it's tough to stay in contact. So I'm happy I still train. I'm happy that I'm still part of that life 100%.
I think going off what you said, Todd, I think it comes down to a few things. Luke trained really hard. Like, I was able to beat the shit out of Luke and not worry if he would quit the next day because I went too hard with him. Number two, he's not sensitive. So you could literally say whatever you want to him, and you better be ready for him to say whatever he wants back to you. And there's no sensitivity issues. There's no, as you see now, Todd, as well, since I am, Luke says there's people with many different faces. I do have a few different faces, but my intentions are always pure. Like, everything I say on Facebook is always heartfelt, and I actually mean it. Like, I truly do care about people. I don't put every single part of who I am on Facebook because I'm a professional. So when I can be around friends, I like to just be exactly who I want to be and just talk shit and not worry about sensitivity. And that's how it is. Luke's good. You could basically say whatever you want to him, and he'll get mad sometimes. I actually know how to push Luke's buttons. Actually,
You think?
Yeah, 100%.
Dare you?
Yeah, it's pretty easy actually. I don't do it
Get outta
often
here.
because if I did it often, it would not work. Like, you would see why. Just like you think that picture of me in the
It does.
world. No, it doesn't, bro. I'll 8 Mile you every time. I will make that my profile picture before you think that you bother me. Like that. That's what it comes down to.
I break out that photo just enough that I feel as though it's like I punched your ticket a little bit. I feel as though I got a little bit.
I got over it. In the beginning, yeah, it bothered me, but now I'm just like, you know what? I used it to my advantage. I instantly made a photo grid of before and after, and you go fuck yourself. That's what it comes down to.
That's awesome.
Uh,
Just my experience being around you guys, and how your team rolls. It's kind of like being in a cleanse where you hear some hard stuff, and you hear some real true stuff that kind of stabs you in the feels. But I think it's healthy, and I don't think we have enough of that in the real world. And I think I know you're 100% genuine on Facebook, and I know that you couldn't, drop some of the stuff that you share amongst the inner circle. But I think both are very, very important, and both are crucial for my development, to be honest.
My daughter just came into the group. No, but I you know what it comes down to though, Todd, when you said that, like everybody in like that you're around in our WhatsApp group, we all come from total mayhem. Like there's parts in each of our lives that are just like totally insane. Like we actually see exactly, the world sees exactly what Gordon Ryan's life is happening. We make jokes about it though. It's funny. Gary had his shit. I have mine. Luke had his. If you heard, like if people saw some of the things we say to each other, like my wife gets uncomfortable. Like I'm like, oh, look what I said to Luke, and I think it's funny. She's like, I don't want to hear that. She's like, that was horrible. She's like, I don't want to hear that, So, but I mean, I think like if you're not laughing at it, what are you gonna do, man? Life is life. It is what it is, and you move forward. You have to learn how to, you can't feel sorry for yourself.
I think what's good, there's a gut check that takes place when you speak openly and honestly, and you kind of bust each other's balls a little bit. I feel like there's a gut check, 100%. I think the last time I saw Tom, he's like, man, you're eating pretty good, huh? You're like, that was like the first. I think that I hadn't seen him for like 8 months or something. That's the first thing he said to me. I was like, oh, damn it,
bro.
Like I think I hugged my head. I was like, all right, I need to get back to it and get my shit together. So, I mean, you think about it like this, right? So you have all these people in your life that they care about you, but they're not even willing to say, hey, fatty, you need to cut some weight. But, like, you have the people that are close to you, they're like, hey, man, like, you care about yourself, you care about your family, you care about your training. Like, hey, you're a little bit heavy on the scale. You might want to cut some weight. So, I mean, for me, I feel like it's important just to have that gut check, and it's a reality check. Yeah, people – it's very easy to feel yourself, right? It's very easy.
Bro, why did I just lose all this weight? What was happening in our WhatsApp group?
100%, yeah. Yeah, 100%.
Gary and Gordon, were they saying, hey, Tom, you should lose some weight, or were they calling me a fat pig slob?
Yeah, I think they were like, hey, Tom, what are you doing right now? Eating 3 whole pizzas by yourself? Like, it was like they were coming after you hard.
Yeah, so good.
Yeah, the last thing I hear at night when I go to sleep is Tom saying spending too much time with chicken and waffles. I hear that phrase.
Bro, what happened? I actually flipped out on Todd, and this is like the first time we're like really around each other, so I don't know if he was quite ready for it. He snored like a mammoth, and I woke up and I was like, you fucking slob. You Willie fucking mammoth snoring motherfucker. Like, bro, I went hard. And I don't know if he was ready for it, but
I thought you went pretty easy on me. I honestly did. You did say something about popping my lungs, so that was the worst part.
Yeah, but
Nice.
The thing is this though. I think everybody I think it's almost like a form of therapy. You know what I mean? Like when you're around people, you don't have to censor what you say or do what you say, because I feel all of us probably are in a job where we kind of do have to. I mean, I know everybody does, but I think we also have different positions than your most 9-to-5 workers. Like we have important positions in our field to where we have to take that serious. You know what I mean? So I think that's just the biggest thing. But listen, my daughter's busting my chops, so this thing has been real. I'm gonna go chill with my daughter and probably do a concert with her right now. Do we gotta? Can I leave?
Well, where are you gonna be? You've got your competition with Joe Bays coming up. You've got seminars in Massachusetts, Pittsburgh. Where else, Tom?
Well, I'm in Massachusetts with Dan Simler. September 11th. I have Joe Bays at the UGA September 24th. Hold on, Isabel. I'm going to be in Detroit early October, Pittsburgh mid-October, and then Maryland late October. Exact dates I don't have I have to look at my calendar. And then
No
November,
worries.
ADCC trials. December, I'm in North Carolina and then Scranton. I'm everywhere, bro. It's crazy.
And Luke will be catching missing table saws on Monday morning.
Yeah, my 9 to 5 job. Yeah, no, man, I don't know. After training with Tom and everybody again, I was like, oh, I really don't want to compete. Now I'm just dying to. I'm dying to get out there and compete again. So I'm probably gonna head back to Jersey for the ADCC trials, which would be exciting. I need to make sure I'm ready. I don't want to embarrass anybody, including myself. So
Luke's tough, man. He'll do well.
Awesome.
All right, guys. It's
Awesome.
been real.
I hope I see you there. See you guys later. Thanks.
thank
Later.
you.
Bye.